Coming to you live from the fabulous MediaPlex in downtown Windsor, this is a St. Clair College journalism presentation.
Hi, I'm Melissa Russo, and you're watching MediaPlex News Now. Rocky Campana had a great effect on people's lives, and his legacy lives on. Adam Elbaba reports.
Just being different doesn't mean that we can't treat people the same as everyone else, and that was Rocky.
The Windsor Pride Community Resource and Education Center kicked off the Run for Rocky campaign April 4th at the St. Clair Center for the Arts. Partnered with Rocky Campana's parents, Rob and Nancy, the event is geared towards raising awareness and funds for gay-straight alliances all across Windsor-Essex County, mainly to raise awareness for youth suicide prevention and anti-bullying programs. Ambassador for the run, Nancy Campana, said she is excited at the feedback so far.
Hopefully in 6-7 years, we won't need a Run for Rocky anymore because our GSAs will be in place and there will be a program of acceptance and tolerance.
Teresa Perusa, Minister of Children and Youth Services, said it's so critical that all students know they're accepted, regardless of where they live, what they look like, or what they believe in, to ensure every student is successful.
This is really the critical part. It's that education and awareness part, right? That should not be occurring in schools. I mean, bullying should not be allowed anywhere, not in our schools, not in our workplaces, nowhere.
Participants of the run received pledge forms via www.runforrocky.com. For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Adam Elbaba.
Sunday marked the first annual Run for Rocky to commemorate the young man from LaSalle. I attended the event to discover more about the reasons behind the run.
2, 1, have a good race!
A 5-kilometer run was held Sunday in memory of Rocky Campana, a 23-year-old man who took his own life last summer. More than $51,000 was raised at the event benefiting gay-straight alliances. The executive director of Windsor Pride, Bob Williams, said this event made an everlasting impact on the community.
Rocky was only 23 when he decided to move on to the other side, and his legacy certainly shows itself here today with the community coming together and what we see happening.
After Rocky's death, his organs were not eligible for donation, and the Campana family believes it's because he was gay.
It's something that we've done a lot of research on, and we believe that all healthy Canadians should be able to donate blood and organs. And Canadian Blood Services have come out and said that as recently as January this year, that blood donation policies have to change. And we'd like Canada Health to look at the organ donation policies as well.
A petition is being circulated that will soon be sent to the House of Commons, requesting that homosexuals should be able to donate their organs if deemed healthy. So far, it is supported by about 400 signatures. After the success of the inaugural event, the Campanas have already begun planning next year's Run for Rocky. Melissa Russo, reporting for MediaPlex News Now.
Our weather has been all over the place lately. Weather expert Jill Thompson is on the corner of University and Victoria. Jill?
Hi guys, I'm here with your early weather, and right about now I can say Mother Nature has been very kind to us. Currently, it's almost balmy, about 14 degrees Celsius, with a low of 7 degrees for the evening. Check back a little bit later for your extended forecast. Back to you, Melissa.
The leader of the Conservative Party, Tim HUDAK, was at the MediaPlex to talk about what is next for the province.
Hello everyone, and welcome to MediaPlex News Now. I'm Melissa Russo, and with me today is a very special guest, the leader of the Conservative Party of Ontario, Mr. Tim HUDAK. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me here.
Not a problem. So as you know, we probably have a very unique program here at the MediaPlex. What have we told you about the program?
Oh, there's going to be a quiz later on? I didn't study. Well, listen, I think this whole the notion of the media convergence and the center you have here around it is a great idea. It tells you not only where media is going, where it actually is today. I do have a chance. I am a politician, so if there's a microphone or a camera, I will tend to try to get attention whenever I can. So I deal with media a lot, and now media work across platforms, whether it's print, whether it's electronic, whether it's online content. People will get their news information from all kinds of different streams. So I think what you're doing here at St. Clair is smart, it's wise, and it's not only future, it's what's happening today in newsrooms across the province.
Okay, so tell us your top priorities for the province.
It's clear it's jobs and economy. You know, especially when I'm here in Windsor. We did a town hall last night with Dave Brister, who's our candidate there, Rick Nichols, our area MPP from Chatham-Kent Essex, and Henry Lau and Robert Divertai, who are our candidates in Windsor. Top issue by far is jobs. And we have among the highest unemployment rate in Canada happening in the Windsor-Essex area. I think we can turn this around. I'm confident Ontario can bounce back, that we can dust ourselves off, that you can graduate and your colleagues here at St. Clair into a much better job market where you can get a job in your field. But right now the job market, particularly for young people, is among the most challenging since the Second World War. So we put out a plan to turn this province around, one that means lower taxes, getting our energy rates under control, getting rid of all this sort of red tape and run around and all the hoops that businesses have to jump through just to get anything done. I won't go into all the details, but it's called an agenda for growth that'll make Ontario the best place for job creation again.
Okay, and since we are at the college, what message would you like to give to the young people in Ontario?
Stick around. You know, to those that are thinking about going to other provinces of the states, stick around, stay here. We can turn this place around, and those that have left to come back home. I think St. Clair has an outstanding reputation, one of the leading colleges, not only in Ontario and Canada, whether it's media, healthcare. I went to the Innovation Center for construction. It's a great education. It's going to pay off. Just stick around. We can turn things around.
Okay, well, I want to thank you so much for being here and checking out the MediaPlex today. I'm Melissa Russo, and you've been watching MediaPlex News Now.
Downtown Windsor is getting a little cleaner thanks to the Downtown Windsor Business Improvement Association. Adam Albaba has the story.
Students and Windsorites gathered at Maiden Lane in downtown Windsor April 5th to kick off the Rose City Spring Clean Sweep Month. Held outside of the Squirrel Cage, the annual cleanup was coordinated by the Downtown Windsor Business Improvement Association and sponsored by the Windsor-Essex County Environment Committee. Debbie Crozier, acting executive director of the DWBIA, said she was really excited at the turnout and support shown from the sponsors.
What's really exciting is the number of students that we have out here from the college and from the university.
WCAC Environment and Sustainability Coordinator Avril Parent said they wanted to highlight the downtown area as their starting point for the cleanup.
Don't litter. All the youth know now to recycle. They're really good at recycling.
Co-chair for WCAC, Alan Halberstad, said this is the first year that they are involved in the campaign.
Take pride in your city, and one of the sources of pride is that it be clean.
The last time this program was launched was 5 years before the City Clean Committee was lost due to city budget cuts. For more information or to get involved with the Clean Sweep Month, you can visit www.wecec.org. For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Adam Albaba.
Well, I'm ready to hang up my coat for spring. Jill, is the weather ever going to get any better?
Well, Melissa, as I said, it's actually really quite nice out here today. However, did you know that in 10 minutes, a hurricane releases more energy than all the world's nuclear weapons combined? Interesting, yes. Comforting, maybe not. But let's look at this week's weather. Wednesday looks mainly cloudy, sunny during the day with a high of 12 and a 60% chance of showers late in the evening, low of 7. For Thursday, expect cloudy skies with a 40% chance of showers, high 22, low 19. For Friday, look for periods of rain, high of 19, low of 7. So it's finally shaping up here, folks. Actually, I just wanted to give a shout out to my friends at Western Reboot, the simply awesome website that explores both past and emerging Western films. This site deals with everything from video games, art, films, music, everything Western related, so check them out. And that's it from the corner of University of Victoria. I'm Jill Thompson.
Transportation isn't just about the car anymore. Darren Breckles tells us more about one of the latest technological fads to hit North America.
You've seen e-bikes all over Windsor and are probably familiar with the Segway. Now meet the Qgo. The Qgo is a personal transporter with the range and top speed of an e-bike. Unlike an e-bike or scooter, the rider stands on the Qgo in a slalom position. It weighs a mere 25 kilograms and can fold up into a car trunk. It was making quite a buzz at the 2013 Windsor RV and Recreation Show.
Never seen anything like it, but it's kind of neat. I think it might be fun to ride.
Kingsville entrepreneurs Patrick Vortman and Arlindo Rocha formed Urban Flexibility North America, Inc. last year. They have secured the sole North American marketing rights to import, assemble, and sell Qgos.
Ideally, we want to target the Segway market. Same thing, Segway tours. We'll be doing Hugo tours. We're going after the same market. I think we have more stability with the 3 wheels. We have brakes, lighting, brake lights, headlights, horn. We want to target security companies, campuses, stadiums, all that for personnel use, security use.
Judging by the attention it received and the reaction of visitors to the RV and Recreation Show, you might be seeing a lot more Hugos around very soon. From MediaPlex.
I'm here with Veronique Mendel, the coordinator of the journalism program here at the MediaPlex. So Veronique, the school year is winding down, and I'm sure you're preparing for next year. So can you remind us, or is there room in the programs for next year here at the MediaPlex?
We do still have room in the programs. Some of the students, and I'm getting some calls from people right now, because usually the cutoff date is in February. Some people think that perhaps they can't apply, but absolutely you can apply. In fact, sort of right up till the next couple of months, because sometimes students haven't made up their minds what they want to do, and so we like to leave some space for them to sort of think about it and leave some room for people who perhaps weren't sure if they were going to be coming into journalism or to some of the other programs here in the MediaPlex, but we do have room.
Yeah, those are hard decisions as well.
They are.
So remind us which programs here are offered here at the MediaPlex.
Well, of course, we have the 2-year journalism program, and we have the public relations program. Of course, that was another new program that we brought in September, and we also have travel and tourism in this building, and that's a very popular program. And the other new program that we introduced last September was the Media Convergence.
So can you tell us more about the Media Convergence program? It's one of the newest programs. Let's hear more about it.
When you look at newsrooms today, the editors and producers in those newsrooms, they want you to know how to do everything. You have to be a multitasker. And so what we realized was that it was really important for us to introduce a 1-year program where people in diploma programs or people who've been in the industry and they need to be converged and know how to work across all the platforms, there was space for them.
Absolutely.
And so we introduced that, and we'll be running it again in September.
And I'm sure it's going to be very popular as well. What's it like for you and the other professors at this time of year?
It's a little bit bittersweet because, you're saying goodbye to people you've come to know and appreciate and admire. And the one good thing is that, we have the first years coming back. And so all those familiar faces, and then we have all of those wonderful new students who are coming in here and wanting to learn their craft. And so it's exciting, but as I said, it's bittersweet because we certainly will miss you.
Thanks so much, Veronique.
You're welcome.
Boxing and the Ultimate Fighting finale were up for the discussion in this edition of Sports Talk.
Hi, I'm Sean Garrity. Welcome to Sports Talk. I'm joined today with other first-time panelists, Jimmy LeBlanc, Curtis Friesen. How's it going, boys?
Pretty good.
So it was an exciting weekend last week. Ultimate Fighter finale. What's your take on that?
I thought Uriah Hall just put on a disappointing performance. In my eyes, he was the favorite to win the tournament after the first fight in the house.
Yeah.
And Calvin just fought a very effective game plan, and really, Uriah Hall couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah. What's your take on that, Curtis?
No, exact same thing as Jimmy said. Uriah Hall came out to finish fights throughout the whole season. 2 of the most impressive knockouts, I think, in fight history.
For sure.
The scariest fighter in the tournament, and he came out and didn't do anything impressive. It was kind of surprising. Calvin, took the decision, took him down.
Yeah.
Knew what to do.
So 2 weeks, I think Saturday is the coaches are going to battle. It's going to be an exciting one. What do you think about that one?
Well, it's always interesting with Chael Sonnen, isn't it? I mean, this guy, he knows how to make it personal, and with John Jones, it's the last guy in the world you want to make angry.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be a lot of animosity. I think it's going to be a great fight. And it's like Chael Sonnen says, when you're the best fighter on the planet, they give you a name, Chael Sonnen.
For sure. So, enough talk with UFC. Boxing match, big one this week coming up.
Yes, we have a showdown between 200 feet, 154-pound fighters in Austin Trout and Canelo Alvarez. Austin Trout's coming off the biggest victory of his career when he beat Miguel Cotto last December.
Yeah.
And Canelo, this is a huge step up for him. So, you know, his best opponent to date is 40-year-old Shane Mosley.
Yeah,
but
still around.
Yeah, I know, even still. Austin Trout has the ability to outbox Canelo, but I just feel that Canelo's athleticism is going to prevail.
That's it for Sports Talk. I'm Sean Garrity with Jimmy LeBlanc and Curtis Friesen.
Young gymnasts from across Ontario competed for a spot in the Canadian Championships. Marissa DeBortoli tells us more.
This weekend, the stands at the St. Denis Centre were filled as Rose City Gymnastics hosted the 2013 Ontario Artistic Gymnastics Championships. Over 4 days, 1,200 athletes between the ages of 9 and 18 from 60 clubs across Ontario competed to qualify for the Canadian Championships. SABRINA SLAMA, the recreation director for Rose City Gymnastics and an organizer for the championship, said the event went well.
Really well, and we've got a lot of people showing up from all over the town, all over the province, so it's being a really good turnout so far.
This is the third year that Rose City has hosted the championship and the second year that boys and girls have competed at the same venue. The 2012 championships in Ottawa marked the first time in almost 20 years that both boys and girls shared the same venue for provincial supremacy. This is Marissa DeBortoli reporting for MediaPlex News Now.
The weather has been awfully chilly lately, but is it affecting your golf game? Tom Morrison hit the links.
After a late start, golf season may soon be in full swing. Many golf courses in Windsor and Essex County had delayed openings due to a colder winter this year. Roseland Golf Club opened the last weekend of March, and the assistant golf professional, Charles BENETEAU, says this is somewhat unusual.
We'd have a start date usually like to be in the middle of March, March 17th. Sometimes that can go earlier, as the case last year. But this year, we're even delayed than that. So it's all relative to what the weather is. We should try to shoot for sometime to mid to beginning of March. So.
BENETEAU also said the colder temperatures have led to a slow start, but he thinks this is a great time for golfers to get started.
You know what? This is a great way to start getting the exercise, start getting into the swing of things. You don't necessarily have to be looking for your best rounds out there, but it's a way to get out of the house.
With all of the golf courses in the area opened and temperatures beginning to rise, maybe it's time to get your game up to par. I'm Tom Morrison, reporting for MediaPlex News Now.
On the topic of golf, in this edition of 5 Minutes With, Jessica Brisebois sat down with golf pro Corey Lajeunesse to discuss what it's like to be a golf professional.
Hi, I'm Jessica Brisebois, and today we're spending 5 minutes with Corey Lajeunesse, golf pro at Sutton Creek Golf Club. Windsor has seen such a cold winter. Corey, how has it affected the golf course?
The weather's affected the golf course, just prolonged the season for the golfers. The winter's been pretty good for us, so there hasn't been a lot of winter damage. Talking to other guys in the industry, every other golf course has wintered well with minimal damage. So for us, we've just completed some renovations on the golf course, so we're going to open a little bit later. We actually we open on Monday, April 15th. So we're looking forward to another great season and excited to see the new changes evolve at the golf course.
Now, Corey, could you share a little bit of where you're from and how you knew golf was the sport for you?
I started out in the golf industry when I was 15 years old. My parents leased a municipal golf course, so I kind of fell in love with the business. A year into it, my father got sick, so put me and my brother in a role to step up to the plate and manage a golf course at very young ages. So we entered the golf business, and from there it evolved into what I do now and working at various facilities along my career path.
Now, what kind of skills do you need to become a golf professional?
The perception out there is you just need to be a good golfer. To be a golf professional in today's industry, you need to be a business leader, a manager. And you have to love the lifestyle. You have to be willing to work. You put in long hours. You work tons in the summer. It could be 7 days a week. So you just have to you have to love the lifestyle. You have to love helping people. You have to love other people. So that's what we do as golf professionals. Is we have a love for the game and hopefully help other people enjoy the game more and create the business around golf.
Fantastic. Well, being a border city as far as Windsor, what stops golfers from going to the United States to play golf?
That's a tough question. Stopping golfers from going to the States. They have some incredible pricing in the States. So for us, it's supporting your local economy. Try to stay close to home. We will lose golfers to the States, but some of the barriers are the length of time it takes to cross the border crossing, and the length of day. A 4.5-hour round can take up to 8 or 10 hours if you travel to the States. So one of the barriers in golf as a whole is the amount of time it actually takes to play the game. So by traveling to the States, if you have the time, it's a great spot to go. But I think we're all busier, we all have more stuff to do in our lives. And I think staying closer to home and supporting the local golf courses would definitely benefit the Windsor golf community.
Now, where would you say we rank as a golf town?
The Windsor golf community as a destination for golf, I think there's a lot of great golf courses here. We just don't see the travel and tourism coming here specifically for golf. We may see them come here for other attractions, but I think there's other markets that are definitely capitalizing on it, and they have more variety of golf courses. We do have a small golf community here. I believe there's maybe 20 golf courses in the Windsor area, and that's going all the way out to Chatham area. So when you think of other golf destinations, you think of North Carolina, I mean, there's hundreds of golf courses to choose from, and those are golf destinations, and Windsor has its own little golf community. And I think we can probably do a better job to become a golf destination because we have one of the longest seasons in golf outside of the West Coast.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know that as a golf pro you do teach golf, and I heard you have quite a mean swing. So could you just share with us how far you can hit the ball?
Well, I practice a lot. I don't hit the ball as far as some people think. It's, you know, I might drive the ball 300 yards. But the game's not won that way. It's won around the greens. It's short game, chipping and putting, and getting the ball in the hole in the least amount of strokes. So it's great to hit a long drive, but you have to focus on other areas of the game as well, and make those just as good as hitting a long drive.
Now, for people like me who don't play golf very often, do we have a chance?
Absolutely. Everybody has a chance. The biggest thing I see in golf is everybody that starts the game, they tend to grab a club and go and hit. I always try to tell people if you're going to start anything new, you're probably going to start with a lesson.
Yeah.
Start with a lesson, get a few pointers to start you down the right road, and you're going to have a greater chance of success. If you just start by yourself, you may not like the game. It may be, you're going to find it very difficult. You're going to get frustrated, and that's not what we do in life. We're too busy, and everything takes up our time. So if I'm going to go do something, I want to do it well and have fun doing it. So always start out with a lesson, and that's going to set you down the right path to success.
Great. Well, I'm Jessica Brisebois, and today we spent 5 minutes with Corey Lajeunesse, golf pro at Sutton Creek Golf Club.
How are Wonder Woman and the lie detector test related? Maureen Marienplat and Mike L. have the answer on this edition of Comics Crossover.
Hey heroes, I'm Maureen Marienplat.
And I'm Mike L. and you're watching Comics Crossover.
In this week's episode...
Wait, hold on a sec, Maureen. Before we continue, I have to know who your favorite superhero is.
I'd have to say Wonder Woman.
Really? Well, did you know that Wonder Woman creator William Moulton Marsden is also famous for inventing an early version of the lie detector? This would explain why Wonder Woman carries a magic lasso. When she wraps it around evildoers, it forces them to tell the truth.
Cool, I didn't know that. Mike, we also heard that there's some Batman news going on right now. What's that?
Yes, there is. The red-hot creative team of Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo have announced that their next big storyline will be called Batman Year Zero. Now, comic fans will recall that in 1985, Frank Miller had his own Batman story called Batman Year One. Scott Snyder has stated that while most of the elements will remain the same, readers will be shocked by Snyder's new twist on the classic story.
Speaking of twists, what's this week's recommended reading?
This week's recommended reading is Punk Rock Jesus by Sean Murphy. Punk Rock Jesus is about a reality TV show starring a clone of Jesus Christ. Now, needless to say, when the story was published last year, it caused quite a bit of controversy. If you're interested in picking it up, it's available from DC Vertigo, wherever comics are sold. And I also want to point out that we have interviewed both Scott Snyder and Sean Murphy. If you want to see those interviews, just log on to comicbooksyndicate.com.
Awesome. Superman was actually one of the first superheroes, but next week we're going to hear about the fictional characters that preceded the Man of Steel. I'm Maureen Mariampole.
And I'm Mike L. Thank you for watching Comics Crossover.
Last week we hosted our second annual live game show in which the first years faced off against the victorious second years. Chris Richards was there to bring us this report.
Staff, students, and spectators gathered last Tuesday at the St. Clair College MediaPlex for the second annual live broadcast game show, MediaPlex Headline Challenge. The show pits 3 first-year students in the Converged Journalism program against 3 second-year students in a trivia-style game focused on current news events making the headlines. The students compete in 3 different categories: international, national, and local. James Zimmerman, a second-year student and 2-time competitor, was one of the contestants that helped seal the second victory in a row for the graduating class.
I lost last year, so leaving here with a little bit of indication. Leaving with a victory felt great. I mean, just winning overall, but then to make up for last year felt even better.
Alice Hewitt, a second-year journalism student, produced this year's show and said the experience was an invaluable opportunity in pursuing her production career goals.
Having produced the Headline Challenge means that I've actually had that real-world experience. Basically, you've got that last-minute live television, you've got to get this done, you've got to get that done. And we had an issue with ours that we ran a little too short. We had to throw in an extra guest. So it shows that I'm hands-on, that I show that initiative, that I had that backup guest in place. And yeah, there's nothing better than TV production.
Last year's Headline Challenge marked the beginning of live broadcasts from the MediaPlex, which now hosts live shows every Tuesday like the one you're watching this very moment. This year's Headline Challenge ended with a close score of 11-9 for the second years. Reporting for MediaPlex News Now, I'm Chris Richards.
The Greater Windsor Concert Band recently showcased its musical abilities for its 15th year anniversary. Jamie Adam was on hand to bring us this report.
15 successful years have gone by for the Greater Windsor Concert Band, and they celebrated by, what else, playing a concert. The band played 15 songs to celebrate their 15th anniversary, from Simon and Garfunkel to the Cider House Rules theme to Pirates of the Caribbean. 64-year-old Peggy Lethede has been a fan since the beginning, and she said she goes to all the band shows. She said this was the best concert they've ever done.
They outdid themselves today. Every song was just right on and perfect for the occasion, and just thoroughly enjoyed it.
Music director and conductor Rick Moore says the concert gave him goosebumps.
It's impossible to describe the feeling of putting that much effort into a piece of music and to have it come together in a way that is really beyond the capabilities of any of the individuals.
Moore also said he's already starting to plan for the band's 20th anniversary. For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Jamie Adam.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Melissa Iruso, and this has been MediaPlex News Now.